You're the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
See, that's what I'm looking for.
I want to have babies with you.
What? from telling jokes?
Yeah, you know?
Nice.
Shredded!
Welcome to the Shred the Mic podcast with Zeke and Kelly.
All right.
We are here each and every week to give you 5 minutes of brand new stand-up comedy each. That's what we're talking about.
We're both going to do it.
We're both going to do it. A little bit of feedback in between. And we're super excited to have you guys here back again for yet another episode. Mm-hmm. We had a very eventful week.
We did.
Where we went traveling quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. You're going to hear all about it.
I'm just having a premonition that both of our material might involve either family, Florida, the LDS Church, and or slavery. Now, I don't know about that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, stay tuned, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not usually our typical subject matter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about a hook. Am I right?
That is quite the hook.
Quite the hook.
All right. So I think I'm going first tonight. Is that correct? Or did you want to go first?
You went first last week.
Oh, I did? Then
so if we're swapping.
Yeah. I didn't want to step on your toes.
But if you need to go first, like.
I do not.
There's no hard rules here. You know?
No. You can definitely open up.
I'm going to open for you. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to warm up the podcast for you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Kel. You feeling good? You feeling strong?
Yeah.
You ready to shred a mic?
I'm feeling shreddy.
All right, here we go. Coming to the Shred the Mic stage in 3, 2, 1.
Shred the mic!
Kelly Shanley.
Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you, Zeke Thomas. Give it up for your hosting, Thomas.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, as Zeke mentioned, we were traveling this weekend. We went to Florida to visit his extended family. And for a little background, I've never been to Florida. Also, his extended family is Mormon. Zeke himself is not. His dad left the church when he was an adult, moved to California, became a hippie, married a beautiful Brazilian woman, and boom, we have Zeke. So I was a little trepidatious about this trip because I'm born and raised in California. My family is like flaming liberals all the way back to my grandparents. Like both of my grandpas, World War II vets, but like I feel like everyone thinks veterans are all Republicans. They're not. Like my grandpa Fred had 2 copies of Obama's biography, The Audacity of Hope. I don't know why he had 2.
But that's how much of a liberal he was.
That's how much of a liberal he was. Yeah. So safe to say I was a little nervous. But honestly, I had a lot of fun. Your family's amazing. They're so kind. They're so silly. They're so funny. None of these are jokes, but I had so much fun and it was a learning experience. But there was some heavy Florida stuff happening as well.
Oh, hell yes.
Like when we first boarded the plane. Okay, so first we flew LA to Atlanta. That was pretty standard. Atlanta to Destin was the interesting flight. So we boarded early, and then right away there's like this couple, and it was like a boomer looking man with a hat that said gun safety means carrying a gun. And I'm like, okay, this guy is flying home. Got it. And his wife had a t-shirt on that had some sort of rant covering the entire back of her shirt that I didn't have time to read because I was already defending California to the guy I was sitting next to on the plane who was in the military and lived in Florida. So we were off to a start. And then this whole flight reminded me of the scene from Bridesmaids when they're on the plane and they get kicked off, which is one of my favorite scenes of all time. But when it's happening to you in real life, it's not as amusing, strangely enough. So on my other side, there was this sweet old lady, and we were in the front row of the peasant section. First class was right in front of us, and there were 2 empty seats. And she asked the flight attendant so nicely, "Oh, would it be possible for me to move up into those seats, you know?" And he's like, "No, sorry." 2 minutes later, he like moved a businessman looking, rich looking guy into the seat with his wife. And I just felt bad for her. And there was another seat, and I really just wanted her to just go for it. I was like, just get in there. Just put your shades on and pull a Kristen Wiig and be like, and this is Iglesias, and just like commit, just do it. But so then this is all before we even took off. So then we take off and we're still very much taking off. Like the plane's maybe at, a 45-degree angle. And all of a sudden, two of the flight attendants come running down the aisle. And I'm like, what's happening? So I look back and I see a passenger just pointing out the window frantically is what it looked like to me. And I was like, oh my God, there's a colonial woman on the wing of the plane. It's happening. But no, it's just because a piece of metal fell off the plane. No big deal. No big deal. And the guy next to me assured me, he's like, that's not a crucial piece of the airplane. I was like, oh, really? He's like, it just hides wires. It's not a big deal. And then the flight attendants come marching up the aisle with a long piece of metal. And I was just like, okay, this is not instilling a whole lot of faith in the quality of the plane. So that was just getting there. When we were there, like I said, your family is so cool. And I had so much fun with them. And they might like me more than you. So...
That's a true statement.
No, the only people who like really gave us a hard time or tried to were some of your uncle's friends, like old white Florida men. The second they meet us and they're like, where are you from? And we say California. One of them literally did the sign of the cross. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. I'm good. I like it there. And he said something about, oh, blah, 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 your wacky governor. And I was like, oh, well, I happen to like our governor quite a bit. And he says something else. I don't even remember what it was about, but I was like, no, it's cool. I like living in a state where I have the fundamental right to choose what happens with my own body. And you guys, the silence fell over this man was one of the most satisfying things I've ever experienced. And I was like, oh. I didn't realize I was going to take it there so quickly, but like, that's just what I thought. And so to wrap up, my final thought on this is like, because he was not the only person who led with California sucks the second he met us. So when I was in college, I studied advertising. And one of the things they tell you is like, whoever's on top is never going to talk about whoever's in second. Like Coke never talks about Pepsi in their ads. Mm-hmm. And Pepsi's always like, in a blind taste test, Coke, they choose Pepsi over Coke, right? Because they're second place. So basically, Florida is Pepsi. California's Coke. Yeah, we don't need to talk about Florida because we're Coke. We're number one. We don't care. So, yeah, that's my time. Anyway, thank you.
Kelly to Shanley, everybody!
Shredded.
Yeah. Florida definitely is Pepsi to our Coke.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it was, my brain works backwards. So, no, being there for all of it, having a front row seat to all of it was just pretty amazing. But I was just sort of just like, oh man, I always lead with kindness, Mm-hmm. I never meet somebody and go, oh, you're from Ohio. That place sucks,
right?
Round on the shoulders, high on top, ha ha ha. Like, like wordplay, like I'll do stuff like that or like, whatever. But like, I'm never like, your place sucks.
Right.
Like,
right.
Even when it is Florida. and like over the course of the trip, like I found some great parts of Florida. Like I always look for like, what's good here?
Yeah.
Got some nice sunsets.
Oh yeah.
Got a lot of humidity. If you're into that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm into it, but there sure is a lot of it and I can appreciate it. But yeah, it was just kind of amazing the Fox News brainwashing that happens to folks. And you're just like, I'm from California. And I'm like, like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no. Bro,
it's awesome.
we live by the beach. We're good, man. Like we're doing all right. Like,
yeah.
Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. But yeah, no, that was pretty funny. That was one of my favorite moments, out of my entire time there was just like my little cringe monster being like, let's see what happens next. And not feeling the need to add in my own 2 cents or pile on, because it's sort of like, listen, man, I don't think about who's in second place. I was like, everybody else, all the other states playing for second place. Yeah. That's it. Like, good luck. I wish you all the best, but like, I literally don't care about what Florida thinks of California.
Oh, me neither.
And I made 0 Florida man jokes. Like,
that's true.
I did not dunk on Florida once while I was there. I wasn't like, that was awfully Floridian or like, yeah. So, you know, I found it pretty funny. And yeah, no, my family is pretty kind overall.
Yeah.
They're pretty silly. They kind of lead with silliness.
They do.
Yeah.
That's the way to my heart, is to lead with silliness.
And I had a feeling they would be. And, you know, obviously Kelly became the #1 draft pick. You know, and I was just like, okay, guys, I get it. I'm good. Try to think, what else did you cover?
The plane ride.
Plane ride, yeah.
Like bridesmaids. The guy with the gun safety means carry a gun hat.
Yeah. Definitely Delta reward status for sure. So over that same plane ride, they came up to me in the middle of the flight, unprompted, and they're just like, Mr. Thomas, you have gold status with Delta. We just wanted to take a moment and thank you for flying with us as much as you do, and blah, 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 blah. And it was like uncomfortable. I'm sitting next to 2 other people in Cabin Plus or whatever, Comfort
Plus.
Right. And, you know, I was just like, okay, thanks. This is getting awkward at this point.
I'm like, don't tell them you got it for free.
Exactly. I'm like, you know, got hooked up with the Producers Guild, you know, board member special. Membership has its perks, you know, as they say.
It does.
No, that was pretty hilarious that this poor old woman was not rewarded for being old.
I just felt so bad for her.
Some guy with diamond status was just like, I got this.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, we're not going to do drink service for Coach today. And she was like, I can't even get a glass of water. And then they served like 3 beverages to the guy who took her seat. I was like,
within an arm's length, you know, distance. Yeah.
It was just, you know, it was an interesting flight. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I feel like we could do an entire hour on the last weekend that we had.
Probably so.
All right.
Well, how you feeling, Zeke? You ready?
Yeah,
ready
I'm feeling good, feeling warm, feeling pretty loose, ready to shred a mic.
All right.
I got some good material. Or I got some material. I got that.
We'll see if it's good.
Yeah, we will. We will definitely see if it's good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Shred the mic!
For Mr. Zeke Thomas.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Kelly Shanley. Thank you for what a wonderful opening. Way to set the stage. Way to do that energy jujitsu that you do so well and sort of set the tone for the rest of the show. Talking about Florida. I feel like I can just jump right into my Florida material without really sort of prefacing too much of it, other than say that like it was a great trip. I need to go out there more than once every 4 years just because I need a reminder of where my silliness comes from. And it's clearly from the Thomas side of the family. Which I'm not going to do today. Google take the wheel. I don't know. My cousin Tarek has like this encyclopedic knowledge of song lyrics and is constantly singing and like shifting gears and quoting different songs every couple minutes. Whether we're on a boat, in a car, in conversation, he's always quoting lyrics. And like he referenced Jesus Take the Wheel and like was doing a Google search, and I was like, Google Take the Wheel. Like, and I was just like, oh, that's like the godless democratic like liberal take on Jesus Take the Wheel is Google Take the Wheel. In case someone hasn't done it already, the internet should take that and run with it and do their own thing. There's plenty of good stuff to mine there. Jokes I'm not going to do. Second joke I'm not going to do is we figured out that I might be dating Kelly just to get to her mom.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Barb's pretty rad. I don't know what to tell you. She is pretty rad. Like,
she is.
I think she's all I would ever want in a mother-in-law. Like, she's been cool with me since day one, encourages silliness, has just been a fan ever since. And has pretty much like treated me like family since I started eating food off of her plate.
You gonna finish that?
You gonna finish that? Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh, yeah, that's an interesting premise. And then Kelly was just like, yeah, well, I also think I might be dating my dad. And I do have a lot of similarities to her dad, who's no longer with us, Greg Shanley, whose middle name was Thomas, by the way. So, you know, it just keeps on lining up. You know, you've met my family, the Thomas side of the family that leads with silliness. So I really feel like your dad, Greg, would have definitely gotten a kick out of this. So it perfectly explains why you were just like, yeah, Zeke's very similar to my dad. And Tarek being like, whoa, but you're like, but but I love my dad. Like, he's a good guy. Daddy issues that I love my dad. Like, I think he did a good job. Anyway, jokes I'm not going to do. So the big thing that I found out over the course of this trip is that I might owe reparations.
Oh,
in general. The Rodrigues, like, Gonçalves side of the family, like, Brazil is built on slavery, and the only reason that Brazil stopped, like made slavery illegal is because the economics of it stopped working for them.
Oh my God.
That's how fucked up it is, right? They're like,
Wow.
Officially we'll call it like 1886 or something like that. 1888, I believe. And, but that was the only reason, is because they're like, financially this isn't working out for us. Might as well make it illegal. It's still happening, by the way, right?
Ooh.
And so I was like, I always knew that, like, I was never going to address, and I was like, there might be some reparations due here. Well, here's what's interesting, is that apparently I now have proof that the Thomas side of the family is also complicit in slavery.
Oof.
And they have receipts because they're good at genealogy. That was the crazy part. Documents were shared with me from like 1863 about some great-great-grandparents that owned slaves, and like it was clearly spelled out in both wills and deeds and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, this is not good. I don't know. It was just kind of disappointing to sort of discover it and have proof, because I was like, I think the Thomases might have gotten away. Like, we would have had a lot more land or a lot more family wealth. Turns out it doesn't matter.
No.
Turns out it doesn't matter. We still, participated in slavery. And so that's kind of disappointing. Anyways, that's my time. I do have this premise that I want to advertise for next week, which is how to get out of a ticket when you're in Florida.
Ooh.
I have like 4 minutes on that. That's
Pro tips.
Yeah, pro tips. And they're really good. Shout out to Cousin Tarek for the breakdown. And unfortunately, we got to save that for next week. Anyways, guys, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Zeke Thomas.
Shredded.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarek is hilarious. Zeke was pretty much writing down everything that he said all weekend. And at first, Tarek thought he was joking. Zeke would be like, I'm going to write that down. And then he would pull out his phone and start writing it down. He's like, oh, you're actually writing that down. Yeah, he's a wealth of material. It's a good thing he's an engineer and not a comedy person, because you get to use it all.
Some of the funniest people I know are not in comedy, and I'm always just like, like, you just broke in a slightly different way you would have taken over. And like, his brand of comedy is just silly, but just loves to push buttons. His poor wife.
Just got to keep him in check.
Keep him in check. Yeah. Because left to his own devices.
Yeah, she's good at it, though.
She is.
She doesn't suffer any fools.
She does not. She does not. And I think that's why he pushes as hard as he does.
No, I was thinking when you said Google take the wheel, I feel like that's the most California take on Jesus take the wheel. Like, Silicon Valley take the wheel, basically.
Yeah, tech bro take the wheel. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, all faith in the algorithm and, the almighty Google. I was just like, yeah, we kind of worship Google and big tech like a god.
Yeah.
Like, there's something there.
Well, you can definitely expand on that. Like, Jesus will lead the way. No, Google will literally lead the way. Like,
see, maybe this is your premise. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's see what else. Oh, you're dating me to get to my mom. We were just, I was like, I think I said something about, well, at least you know what I'm going to turn into, and she's great. And then things got out of hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. I'm dating my dad. It's true. It's true.
Slightly different package, but
it's true. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's okay if your dad was a really good dad. I don't know. But what else did you say? You're talking about reparations.
Oh yeah. Finding out that both sides of my family participated in slavery.
Yeah. Like, I love you should talk more about how into genealogy they are. I didn't get enough time today.
Yeah.
But we learned so many interesting things about the Thomas side of the family. And it made me want to delve into my own genealogy. Just out of, it was fun. It was fun to hear about it. So yeah, I think that's like a wealth of material there too. You can mine that for all kinds of stuff, and then you're gonna dive into it and learn a whole bunch more stuff.
Oh yeah,
too.
I can't wait. Like that's the one thing that I definitely know about the LDS Church and people of that faith is that they love genealogy, and I'm like, I'm at an age where I find it so fascinating, and I'm so glad that they do, because like, I don't know, I'm so curious. I'm so curious because I don't have very many answers. You know, my grandparents on the Thomas side died. Both of them were gone before I was 12. Both my parents passed like before I was 30. And like, it's sort of just like, there's not a lot of answers for me. So I'm like, well, at least I still have some aunts and uncles, and like I have sites like this that go into a lot of depth.
Yeah.
So
no, I think it's going to be fun for you to learn about them, and I can't wait to hear all the material you come up with.
Yeah.
Based on learning about your family. I know, like my family, I don't think was here for slavery, so I'm probably off the hook, but who knows? I don't think they came over from Europe until the 1900s, but I don't know. I haven't really checked.
Yeah.
So
no, I feel you, because like I was just like, all I know is Welsh coal miners, and like I heard that, and then it was like, yeah, but the Nelson, like when the Nelsons and the Thomases came together, let's follow that Nelson train a little bit, and like that's
blame it on the Nelsons. I see.
Blame it on Grandma's family.
I see how it is.
Yeah.
No, you got a lot of good stuff. I think it's gonna be fun to expand on all of it.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely will want to take some of that, because based on the package that's presenting, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a disconnect when I'm just like, turns out I'm responsible for slavery, everybody. Like
both sides. I got it from both sides.
Yeah.
I owe a lot of reparations.
Yeah. So I think there's some interesting premises there. Got to work it out. Definitely got to write it. But
it's also ironic that I might not looking the way that I look.
Yeah.
But you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey, Kelly to Shanley. How can people find you on the internet?
Oh, so glad you asked. I am on Instagram and TikTok at Kelly A. Shanley. I'm on YouTube at Kelly Shanley. And I am on Medium at Kelly Shanley with some great, if you want to read, I know that's wild, but if you're into reading, I do have humor pieces and a dating column on there. And that's being developed into a podcast. So
what?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Normally I say that reading is for losers, but in this case I do say you should definitely read Kelly's incredible syndicated dating column.
Reading is not for losers.
It is totally for losers. Everybody knows that. Everybody in Florida told me that too. You can find me on the internet all over the place. Zeke Thomas is rad on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Zeke Thomas on YouTube. And of course, for all your other Zeke Thomas needs, you can find me at ZekeThomas.com. Oh, Kelly, did you just mention Patreon?
I did.
You did. I heard it. I definitely heard
it.
Patreon.com/Zeke Thomas is rad. Join the Patreon community for as little as $5 a month. Get early access, behind the scenes photographs, pictures, and videos, and all sorts of good goodies starting at about $5 a month, all the way up to the crazy level, the Harkin Banks level of $500 a month, because I know you guys are out there. Shout out to my Johnny Utahs out there. Sophia and Jonathan, thank you for joining the team at the Johnny Utah level. What's up? What's up? I think that's it. Covered YouTube, I think we covered all the things.
I think you did. Nice job.
Thank you. I'm getting better at these CTAs.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. Getting a lot better at these CTAs.
Did you say CTE? No, not that time.
I did. Oh, it hurts, Kelly. It hurts being this broken sometimes.
Oh,
well, broken. I'm very excited for our sold out show, even though this episode is coming out after the show. But very excited that it is officially a sellout.
We sold it out. It's going to be so fun. Thank you so much, everyone who's coming, for buying tickets and supporting and showing up. It's going to be a great show. I'm very excited.
Very excited. And then, of course, we're looking to do more shows in the not too distant future, potentially at our new local comedy home, The Crow in Santa Monica, since it is a stone's throw away from our house. And why not have some more comedy on the West Side?
Yeah. And Nicole Blaine, who opened it up and runs it, She's awesome. The club is awesome. It's just awesome. So if you're in LA and you want to check out a new comedy club, go to the Crow in Santa Monica. It's awesome.
It is. Guys, you guys are legion. We'll see you next week with another episode of Shred the Mic. Shred the Mic is written, hosted, and produced by Zeke Rodrigues-Thomas and Kelly Shanley. Audio engineering by Zeke Rodrigues-Thomas for Mind Jam Media. And when in doubt, shred the mic.